Hello everyone, this is just a quick tutorial on how to tackle that changing color in your mosaic crochet where you come down and you only have the one drop down stitch, but you need to make a color change in between the two. And what has a tendency to happen is that at one side, either one side or the other, is going to show a bit of a color seepage one way or another. And what I do to avoid that is I was having a problem with that, and I was trying to figure out a way how to fix that so as I wouldn't have any bleeding color on this side. I'm not concerned about this side because this side is good, but it's this side. And if you notice, like the structure of your stitch, if you look at the cap of your stitch over here, it's a better view. You know, your top of your stitch is always leaning more to the right instead of being centered. And even though, like, you know, your loop below it where you're doing the back loop is pretty centered up over your stitch here, it's still, when you come up through, it still tends to lean because of the stitches that are following it, which always pull to the right. So you want to make your drop down double crochet in this area pull more to the left. So what I've decided what I tried that actually works, I'll do my drop down double crochet stitch, and then automatically you skip this last stitch right behind it because you're making up for that stitch with the double crochet, but you're also coming over here and you're going to skip this stitch as well, and that helps to force the drop down double crochet to move over more to the left. And so instead of making a stitch in here, I'll do 2 stitches on this in this next stitch to help pull that drop down double crochet over more to the left. And if you look here now, you can see that it's not being an issue like it is down here on this side. If you look at this side here, you're seeing a little tiny bit of the color seepage coming through, and you notice that your drop down double crochet, because of the nature of your stitches, is kind of pulling to the right, and which is causing that to be exposed. So if you skip the 2 stitches, you force your drop down double crochet to become more straighter and uniformed. Unfortunately, you do compromise the uniformity of your pattern as you're coming along with your back loop single crochets. Right, you do have a bit of a uniformity compromise here, but it's not as big a deal as when you're looking at your color change and you see that little piece of a jag sticking out there in between your drop down on each side. Like this side is good because this is where I made the stitch to do the color change, but then the color change happened and I got this jag from that color change due to the nature of the stitch, which caused it to go ziggy-zag, jaggy. So this was a solution I found that helped to force the double crochet to be more centered. I'll do it again. Oops. Drop down. I need to drop down in this one here now. And if you notice, you notice that jag where the color is kind of overlapping one another in a jag. So we'll do that. Drop down, do our drop down double crochet. We're going to skip the stitch directly behind it. We're going to skip the stitch directly to the left of it and move over here and put in our 2 double crochets back loop, which forces that drop down to stand straighter and not lean to the right, and that helps to cover this little jag up. Okay, you can also pull over your drop down double crochet more over on the loop to the left as well. So this is a solution I found that really helps to get rid of that little bleeding of the color. So I hope this little tip helps. Thank you for watching.